Welcome, students of Standard 10. Over a couple of classes, I have been writing these words, equal, especially equals, ignore case, compared to, alright? Today I'm going to discuss these functions. Basically, they belong to a string class. So that's why I have written the topic over here, that is the use of string functions in arrays. So how we are going to use these functions, or what is the significance of these functions when we use them in arrays or anywhere else. Okay? So let us discuss one by one. I'm going to use two examples in order to explain all these three functions. The first one is string x is equals to Ram in capital uppercase or in uppercase letters. String y is equals to Ram when R is capital while the others are small. Then we have the next one, second string. String x is equals to Ram, all capital letters. String y is equals to Raj, all capital letters. Okay? There is no space in between here, either at the beginning or at the end. So let us understand this particular questions. So with the reference to A and B, I am going to explain you that is equals, ignore case, and compare to functions. So let us go in detail about it. So the first one, that is equals function. What is an equals function? What equals function does? The equals function basically, we all know that it is an example of a string class, or it is a function of a string class. What it does is, it performs the equality check between two given strings, that is x and y respectively, where x is the first string and y is the second string. It compares the equality, okay, between these two strings, that is x and y, and returns Boolean value as a result. So please remember, it returns Boolean value as a result. Now it is a function that performs the equality check. Unlike in case of operators, we have a double equal to, which is a relational operator that performs equality check between the numbers or the characters only. Whereas equals function performs equality check between two given strings only. It cannot be used to perform equality check between the numbers or the characters. So how do we write this one? That is these two. How do we solve A and B using the equals function? And what is the result that you are going to get? So suppose if I write over here, system.out.println x dot equal and y when I write over here. And this is the first case. And then the second case also the same thing if I write here. Okay. So what is the result that I am going to get in these two cases? In the first case, what happens is the A, that is, it will take the index, that is 0, 1, 2, 0, 1, 2. It compares this way, 0 index versus 0 index here of x and y. Then again of x and y, 1 index, and of x and y, 2 index. The moment there is a difference, another important part of equals is that the feature of equals is that it is case sensitive. It differentiates between uppercase and lowercase. So here what happens is, first of all, R and R is compared, there is no difference, same case, same letter. The moment there is a second part, there is a difference between capital A and small a. So there is a difference. The moment there is a difference, the control will move out straight away. So in the first case what happens, since there is a difference here, this index 1, okay, corresponding index 1, corresponding characters of index 1 in both the cases, then what happens, this will return false. We will get false as a result. In case of B, here what happens is, again we have 0, 1 and 2, 0, 1 and 2 index elements. So 0 index elements are compared, they both are same. 1 index elements are compared, they both are same. The moment it comes to this part, what happens here, it is capital N, but here it is capital J. So there are two different characters. As a result, what happens? Since there is a difference, it will write over here false. So this is in case of the first one. Number 1. That is equals function. Let's consider the next one, that is equals ignore case. Okay. In case of equals ignore case, the same thing. If I write here system.out.println x dot ignore case and b. So what happens to this one? And the same thing is with reference to this one. That is, sorry, it will be y, it will not be b. In this case, it is not b. So it is y. And then what happens in the same case here also? Okay. So what is the result in the second case? Both are same. In both the cases, I am writing x dot equals ignore case y. So in the first case, as we have seen, we go on to the second case, equals ignore case. Here what happens is, it ignores the case of the characters, corresponding characters of the given index of both the strings, and then compares. Like here, it compares, first of all, it converts them into one case. So both are capital, no problem, so it converts them into capital. And then check, are they both equal? Yes, it is equal. Come here. Again, A and A is compared by changing their case. So then what happens? This is also converted to uppercase and then it is compared. Yes, it is true. Then it moves up. The other side. Then the case, that is index, two elements are compared by changing the case. Both are compared to either capital or lower case. And checks over there whether they are equal or not. Yes, it is. So in this case, what happens? It results into true. That means where equals function gives us the value as false, the equals ignore case gives us true because it ignores the case. So this is the important part, or the final point that you must understand, the difference between equals and equals ignore case. So unlike equals function, equals ignore case is also a function of the string class. It also returns the Boolean value. However, it ignores the case where it compares for equality. So it also performs equality check between two given strings, that is x and y. However, it ignores their case. That is more important in this case. Now look at example B. In example B again, all are uppercase, so there is no problem. R both are same, A is also same, but here there is a difference of two characters. As a result, it gives us false. So normally what happens is, whenever we check for a particular name in the array, you might have seen in the linear search that we always, so the linear search what happens is, in case of a linear search, what we do, we have seen that we have used equals ignore case function. So here what happens is, the equals ignore case function can be used to compare the equality between two given strings after changing their case. Okay? After rather ignoring the case. Then we have the third function of the string class, that's called compare to function. This function you have noticed that I have used in bubble sort. Okay? So what exactly it does? This is also a function of string class. It is also a function of string class. Okay? However, though it is case sensitive, it does not return Boolean value, unlike your equals function as well as the equals ignore case functions. It returns integer value. Now what is that integer value? It actually returns the difference of ASCII values of the corresponding characters, okay, or at a given index of both the strings. So at a given index, the difference of the ASCII value of the character is taken. Okay, and it returns integer value. That is, it returns one of the three integer values. The first one, if the first string, like as I said in this case, the first string is x. Okay, the first string is x, and the second string is y. So if the first string is more than the second string, then it returns a positive difference of ASCII value. If the first string is less than the second string, then it returns the negative difference of the ASCII value, their ASCII value, that is the character. And if both are same, then in such cases it returns 0. So the moment I get the answer in positive, it means that the first string is more than the second string. If I get the answer in negative, that means the first string is less than the second string. And if I get the answer in 0, that means both are equal. So it not only performs equality check, but also checks whether the first string is more than the second string or the first string is less than the second string as well. And it returns integer value, that is the difference of ASCII values of both the strings. Okay, the corresponding characters of both the strings. So let us understand what is the result with reference to A and B particular problem. So in case of A, when I write here system.out.print ln x dot compared to y. Okay, so the moment when I write it this way, what happens? Then in case of B also the same thing. What happens? What is the result that we get? So in case of, as you know, in case of A it is RAM. So remember, this is also case sensitive. So as a result, what happens here? These two are compared, both are same, no problem. These two, there is a difference. The moment there is a difference, then what happens? It compares ASCII value only of those corresponding characters, not the other side. Okay? So here what happens? It compares the ASCII value of A and what you call small a. So capital A is 65 and small a is 90. So 65 plus 90 gives you the answer as minus 32. So therefore, it will give us over here the answer in the first case will give us minus 32. That means we are getting a negative number. That shows that the first string is smaller than the second string. That means if I enter these values and arrange them in alphabetical order, if I prepare a name list, then in such case what happens is that this RAM will come first and followed by will be this RAM. Okay, that is capital R, small a and small m will be the next one. Will come after capital R, capital A and capital M. Is that clear? So this is how they are different. Then what happens? Now let's see the second one. RAM and the other is RAJ. There is no difference in the first index. There is no difference in the second index, but there is a difference in the third index. Okay, that is index 2, there is a difference. So as a result, what happens? In index 2, then one is M, here X has M and Y has J. So there is a difference of ASCII value over here, M minus J. Always remember, first string minus the second string. So first string character minus second string character is M is equals to 77 and J is equals to the ASCII value of J is equals to 74. So here what happens is 77 minus 74, you get answer as 3. That means you get a positive answer, that is 3. Therefore, when we are preparing, when we are arranging them in ascending order, in alphabetical order, what will come first? The smaller will come first because alphabetical order means from small to big, A to Z, not from Z to A. It is A to Z. Therefore, what happens? First Raj will be printed and then Ram will be printed. This is the concept that we apply with reference to your bubble sort. So these are the string functions. There are the three string functions. Please remember them very nicely, very minutely. Like for example, if you get a question like this, differentiate between double equal to and equals. So you should know that double equal to is a relational operator, equals is a string function. Double equal to performs what you call equality check between numbers and characters only, whereas equals function performs the what you call that is a equality check between two given strings only. So likewise, what happens then you should know say the difference between equals and equals ignore case, equals function versus compared to functions, equal ignore case function versus compared to functions. So these are the types of questions that you may be asked from here. Please remember, because as they are going to be used or I have already used this in the program, please, in case of the linear search, make use of equals ignore case with reference to string and not equals function, because you have seen the difference between equals and equals ignore case. And compared to function is used in your what do you call in case of your bubble sort or any sorting technique with a reference to string. So with this we come to the end of this particular topic. In case you have any doubt, anyone has any doubt, feel free to ask your questions in the YouTube. Some of you are asking, some of you are clearing the doubts, and of course in the process, in the time to come, we are going to conduct some doubt classes. So then in that case, you are we can ask questions there. But then I would urge all of you to try on your own first. Work hard for it. Okay, watch the videos, because many of you are not watching the videos. You are simply looking into the assignments. That is not at all going to do any good to you. If you think that you can do it, it's you are absolutely wrong. So please go through the videos, each and every videos, and be safe at home. Okay, till then, take care. All the best.